Hello everyone, this is Greg from Mystery Honey. Today's video is focusing on a part of Sunday's inspections, which I find quite interesting. When I was going through one of the hives, I found a virgin queen randomly milling about on one of the frames. Captured her, and this sparked an investigation into finding out what she was doing in that hive. There's three reasons why a virgin queen can be milling about inside a hive. The first one is that the hive has swarmed. So that means that the original queen has flown off with half the colony over the horizon, never to be seen again. The telltale signs of this is that you'll find lots and lots of queen cells, and they'll all be around the edges of each of the frames. So that's number one. Number two is that the bees have superseded the queen. So the bees have looked at the queen, they can sense that she's running out of sperm, so she's unable to create fertilized eggs, which is the workers. So they sense this and they decide that they want to get a new queen that can go out and get mated and they can continue the colony. Or the queen's got too old and the bees think that she's going to die soon. So they like to supersede sometimes. This can cause a strange phenomenon where you see the virgin queen and the laying queen both milling about on the same frame or in the same hive. Generally, the laying queen, dies off not long after you find the virgin queen walking about. We're not quite sure whether the virgin queen and her have it out, or if the bees kill the mated queen, or if she just dies of old age. But either way, if you see two queens milling about in the hive, then generally the laying queen will disappear not long after. The third option, or the third reason why you'll find a virgin queen milling about in a hive is due to emergency cells. So that means that someone, not naming names, but probably me, has accidentally squashed the queen, or the queen has been injured, or the hive has been attacked by other bees or by wasps, hornet, or something like that, and the queen has died. So what that means is that the bees, to make sure that the colony can continue to survive, create these emergency cells. The telltale sign of this is that you'll find queen cells in the middle of the frames. Because what they've had to do is they've had to choose any larvae that is the correct age and then start feeding them the royal jelly that's needed to produce a queen cell. So you'll see, instead of it being like a vertical line that is prominent along the edges, this thing, it'll look curved because they're coming out of a horizontal cell, and then it'll come out like that because they've had to find a larvae and feed it up and then produce the cell to fit the queen in. Either way, I thought it was an interesting thing to look at, and I thought it was a good example of how to investigate a hive into figuring out what has happened. It's always interesting to find out a story of a virgin queen or what has happened whilst you've been away. I hope you enjoy, and I hope to see you next time. Bye. So the bees are in the top box here. That's good. I can't remember if it was the honey super that I put on most recently or the box underneath. I think it was the box underneath. I think they were already in the honey super. So again, the alarm response has gone off, as you can see that they are bubbling over. So this queen has lots of space. She has this honey super, which is for the most part, they are filling it actually. That's an empty frame. So for the most part they are empty. And I've got a brood box here, which I think they were cleaning up last week. I'll have a quick look at it now. Ouch. So let's have a look at this box here. So I think I put this Mingian box on just to give them a bit more space. Go away. And they're cleaning it up. Don't think the queen has expanded up here yet. But they are cleaning it. You can tell when the bees have started cleaning frames because the bottom of the cells are shiny. There's some nectar in this one. The wind's picking up. Yeah, so the queen hasn't moved up here yet. I think she's happy enough downstairs. Well, these aren't particularly nice bees from what I remember. So what I'm going to do is be very careful, so I don't want to get stung again. I've lost my hive tool over there somewhere, so I'll have to use this one. Always keep 2 hive tools on you at all times. If you're forgetful like me, you'll lose a hive tool here and there. Right, so as you can see, the bees are going for the smoker. That's not good. Grumpy bees. And what's happening here is all the flying bees who are coming out to pester me, flying back in, and I'm going, oh, the lid's off, and attacking me again. Oh, the joys. Right, lift this up. So what I'm wanting to see is 5 or 6 frames of brood. Can't see any tops of or cappings of brood cells, really. I wonder if the queen's still around. That's a nectar frame. It's got some honey in it. It's got some pollen in it. So we've got some capped brood. Cells are quite dark, but it's quite dark comb. This queen's a year old, so she may have started slowing down. Oh, that looks like that's a virgin queen. What's a virgin queen doing out? I've just seen a virgin queen. There you are. What on earth is a virgin queen doing in here? I don't know if you can see her. Inside here is a virgin queen milling about. I showed you before what they'd look like. You can't really see very much because it's not a particularly clean thing, is it? So why on earth is a virgin queen in this hive? There are some reasons why that could be. First of all, this colony hasn't expanded the way I wanted it to. I wouldn't say it shrunk, but it's not expanded the way I wanted it to. I don't see any eggs at the moment. I'm only 4 frames in, so 5 frames in, so I'm not too worried about that right now. And the bees seem angry. So to me, that means that this is either a virgin queen from a swarm cell, and I've missed it, or this could be a supersedure queen or an emergency queen. So what my job is now is to find out where this queen's come from, and see if there's any more. So what I don't want her to do is to fly off with half the bees. That's interesting. There you are, I've got something to talk about on my short form video now. Thought today was going too easy. Right, go in there, go on, away. So, see if I can get a better picture of her. So see if you can see her. Can you see her there? So she isn't fully engorged as a mated queen. So that's a virgin queen for you. So I'm just going to stick you there for now, just out of the way, nice and safe, while I go through your colony. So I wasn't expecting that. So as you can see, the bees are not happy. They're quite angry. That is usually a sign of queenlessness, is a grumpy hive. Especially, ouch. Especially when there's a virgin queen about, because they don't want you to hurt her. Because if you hurt her, they're scuppered. So I'm just going to smoke myself again because they seem to have done the alarm response. That queen is there. She's still happy as Larry. So I'm going to have to try and find that queen cell and make sure that there's no other queen cells about. So. Right. Found a bunch of queen cells, hang on. He's not going to like that. So, here we are. So this colony has made a load of queen cells. A load of queen cells. And they've torn them down. So, if you look here, these are prime examples of what I mean as torn down cells. So what they've done is, these were queen cells here, and they've ripped through the side to get the queen. So that means that this queen, there's another few here. There's a queen cell there. So what they've done is they've torn down this cell and gone straight through into the other cell there. So they've created a load of queen cells. And one queen's emerged, and they've torn the rest down. So what could have happened here is that queen could have come out and stabbed her stinger through these other queen cell walls and killed these queen cells, which means that the bees have just come and torn them down. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. So first of all, if we go from what we learned before, if there's lots of queen cells like that, it's not a supersedure cell. All these cells are along the edges of this frame. So because all these cells are along the edge of the frame, that to me tells me that this is a swarm queen. So this colony has swarmed, and these here are the cells that were left. So technically, once a queen swarms, the bee colony only lets one queen emerge, and then that queen will kill all the other virgin queens, and you'll just remain with half the colony because the other colony flew off with the swarm. In reality, what happens is, as queens emerge, they know that there's already a queen in the colony, and then they fly off with another half and another half and another half. So it means that you can end up with something called cast swarms rather than prime swarms. Prime swarms has the mated queen, cast swarms have virgins in them. I'll have to use my rifle. So one of the reasons that these bees are so angry is because they've got a virgin queen and they don't want me to hurt her. I've just removed her there, so they're really pissy with me. But I need to find more, or all of the queen cells. What a fluke, eh? Ah! Right in the fingertip. Oh! If I wasn't recording this video, I would be swearing, just so you know. As you can see, these bees are not happy. I'll check these two now. This frame had a lot of food on it, but this frame, I can see some caps of capped brood. I'm not sure. So, in essence, what we found here is that this colony has swarmed. They've produced a queen cell. They've probably not expanded the way I wanted them to expand, just because the queen is left with half the colony. And there are more cells here. So, this is also interesting. So, let's shake these bees off. And we'll figure out more of this story as well. So, the story of this hive is that we've had two queens emerge here. So there's one emerge there and another emerge here. So we've had two queens emerge from here. So it's lost at least one. Oh no, there's another queen cell as well that's emerged. So we've had three queens emerge. So that means that we've lost the prime swarm and we've lost two cast swarms, which is why this colony isn't that big anymore. So that is sad. Just seeing if there's any more queen cells. But that means that this colony has swarmed now. All the other queens have probably gone or have been killed by this virgin queen. So all I need to do now is close it up, really. I'm going to check this last frame just to see if there's any more information we can glean from this. Hopefully I won't get stung. So there's more queen cells on this, but they've been torn down by the side. Shut this off. Lost another queen. So this is another queen cell that's emerged here. See? That one's been torn down. As you can see, it's been torn down from the side. The bottom's still intact. But that is still there. And we have another queen cell here. Chances are that this is a dead cell. Yeah. So it's got a queen in it, but it's probably dead. So there you are. That's what we've figured out. So we've gone through this. I've randomly seen a virgin queen. That is a very hard thing to do. It's not normal for me to be able to see virgin queens because I am a bit blind when it comes to that sort of stuff. But we found a virgin queen. We've investigated the hive to try and figure out why there's a virgin queen. We've found that there's some swarm cells that have emerged, more than one. There's lots that have been torn down. But we found more than one cell that has emerged. So it means that this colony has swarmed. It's swarmed multiple times, so there's probably swarms that have made a home in some of the woods around here. It is a nature reserve, so there'll be a lot of places for these swarms to be in. So what I'm going to do is, this colony doesn't need to be looked at for another 2 weeks. It doesn't need all this space on it, but I've started to all finish in essence. There's food frames in here, and these bees will need some food. So I'm just going to close it up. I'm going to put this queen back in before I forget. So here she is. Don't know if you can see her. So that is a virgin queen. She used to go out and get mated. Right then, you. In you go. Seems quite friendly, actually. Let's hopefully. Oh, hope it passes on to her young. Oh, I'm going to tempt fate and let you guys have a good look at her. So, if you look at her markings, you can see that she's a bit of a mongrel. So she's got the black lines everywhere. This is from a buckfast type of queen. Oh, she's been attacked by another bee. Go away. So this is from a buckfast line. If you look, she's got yellow with a black tip, so a buckfast line. And she's got these lovely hairy legs. So she's actually a really good queen, this one. I hope she goes out and gets mated well. Right, I'm going to put her in her colony. Go on, in you go. She doesn't want to let go. Go on, in you go. There you go. She's in the top there now. So she'll make her way down. She'll ingratiate herself with the rest of the bees. And then hopefully she'll go out and fly and get mated. Right, let's plonk these back on and close this up for 2 weeks. Ugh. After 2 weeks, if there's no eggs, then I'll see if I can find her again. And if I can't find her, then I'll put a frame of brood in. And if they start making queen cells on that frame of brood, then it means that she has unfortunately died in the process of getting mated, which is actually a really common occurrence. I hope you've enjoyed this short version of my long form content. If you're interested in seeing what else happened, then please feel free to go onto my page and have a look. Both videos, the long form and the short version, are released at the same time on a Thursday. If you did enjoy this video, please press the like button. And if you fancy sticking around and seeing what else happens, then I'd love for you to press subscribe. If not, I hope you have a very fantastic day, and I do hope to see you again soon.